Hi guys, it's Wendy Hutchinson with Alinea Life Coaching. I wanted to get on today because there seems to be so much chaos going on in the world around us. There are crazy wildfires in California. There is a heat wave in California. We had a massive Cat 4 hurricane hit Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is just a couple hours from Houston. And my husband's business that he is in charge of, he's in the gas pipeline and storage industry, is, right down there. So it's been pretty crazy, and there's just been a lot of energy happening around our planet's surface. So I wanted to jump on really quick and give some perspective around this. I know I've talked about this before, but it felt very relevant to get on today and just address what's happening on our planetary surface from an energetic standpoint. I think most of you know that I'm a Marconic energy practitioner. So I'm pretty dialed into the pulse of what's happening energetically on the planet and with the collective, the human collective, So I wanted to just hop on and maybe give you some perspective, my perspective anyway. So take what resonates and then just ignore the rest. That's kind of how I feel about anything that I share here on my channel. But first and foremost, we're going through a huge shift energetically on the planet. The frequency of our planet is rising, and we're also going through a tremendous energetic shift. So I know our magnetic north has been shifting as the iron core heats up within our the Earth's surface. Not the surface actually, but the core of the Earth is heating up. The iron within the core of the Earth is heating up, and that's affecting our magnetic north, which is the one thing that we use for navigation. Ships use that for navigation. GPS uses that for navigation. So it's been really interesting that over the last couple of years, our magnetic north is actually shifting and changing as a result of the inner core temperatures rising, the iron core melting a little bit, and temperature changing is affecting that. But we're also seeing a tremendous amount of energy pouring in and wrapping around the planetary surface. That is impacting so many things. It's impacting humanity. People who are energetically sensitive that aren't even conscious of their energetic sensitivity are feeling a tremendous amount of anxiety and stress and maybe fatigue. It's hitting us at such a magnetic and intense rate that people who aren't familiar with energy, how to ground themselves, how to maintain their inner peace and grounding, are really struggling. And there's so many things happening layered on top of the energy that's hitting the planet. We've got a pandemic going on. We're having a huge political election coming up. So that's creating a lot of push-pull between political parties, and it's also really stirring up a lot of strong emotion in the citizens of the United States. People are really becoming polarized, which is sad, because I think the goal for us to find solutions to things is to come together. But there are a lot of issues that are coming up that are actually polarizing and dividing us, like race, for example, the Republican Democratic issues that are rising to the surface, really churning up a lot of emotion and discomfort for people. People are getting very hysterical about it. I actually had a college friend send me a pretty heated email and calling me out on on my perspective on politics, which I'm not going to share here because I learned my lesson just having a very brief phone conversation with somebody. She went like crazy on me, accused me of supporting a lot of things that I don't, just because I, you know, express some views on the political situation. Note to self, never talk to anyone about my political views. But so anyway, there's just a lot of shifting and changing, not to mention global weather pattern changes, which are fueling these fires and creating earthquakes and floods and all types of natural things. So my perspective is when we're going through these huge shifts, weather events and earthquakes, or just a lot of natural disaster, this is a huge energetic clearing for the planet, for Mother Earth. It's like a purge, it's like a burn. So what's happening is Earth is just releasing and clearing a lot of energetic stuff and almost letting that go so that energetically the Earth can reset, regenerate, renew, and then also rise vibrationally. And so that's kind of my perspective around what's happening. There's also a secondary impact to all of the chaos that's happening and being triggered for people that are experiencing those things firsthand or know people who are experiencing those things firsthand. And that is, there's a lot of loss, there's grieving, there is a loss of normalcy. I know anybody who has children has been dealing with the fallout of the pandemic on education. Our education system has basically been forced to reinvent itself. And this is all by design. You know, we all kind of go through life with this feeling that everything is just random, circumstantial, accidentally happening to us, chance encounters or things that are presenting in our lives are just these random occurrences. And my perspective is there's always a higher cosmic order to things. There's always a higher perspective around it. And there's something bigger than ourselves that is happening and kind of orchestrating all these events. At first, it will look like complete devastation, destruction, loss of homes, loss of things. We lose ourselves in the emotions of it, right? There are people who want to jump in there and help and rescue. There are people who are devastated from the loss. There's just a lot of energetic chaos that happens when these events take place. But there's also something beautiful that comes from it. And for anyone who's lost anything, whether it's your home or your livelihood, your sanity, certainly I have so much compassion for what you're going through energetically and emotionally and physically. The stress just must be unbelievable. And my heart goes out to you. But we're also placed in those situations to really take inventory and stock of what is truly important to us. Our values are so clear when we're stripped bare of our material things. We come back to values around our health, our families or pets being safe, gratitude that maybe our families were able to evacuate or weather the storm safely. There's just so many things that become clear to us. There's a lot of clarity that comes when we're stripped bare. And I know also a lot of gratitude for a lot of people that maybe their homes had minimal damage and can be repaired, or that maybe insurance is going to allow them to rebuild that shed or rebuild that kitchen or whatever it is that they wanted to change anyway. So there's a lot of things that are happening. Also, communities come together. Tragedy seems to transcend income, race, anything that divides us. Sometimes when we go through a tragedy as a community, we rally together and we help our fellow man, which is really what this is all about. It's about us getting really clear about who we are and how we want to show up in the world. This is about really dialing in and seeing that with connection and community, we can create solutions and answers for ourselves. Whether it's collaborating on homeschool education, maybe it's collaborating on creating more awareness for something you're passionate about. I really want to encourage you all to focus on connection in community and collaboration and finding solutions rather than setting yourselves apart based on race, socioeconomics, politics, religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs. I think we all need to come together. Humanity needs to come together now more than ever to really let go of things that no longer served us as a country, as a people, as a collective. You know, we're all human. We all bleed the same. We all cry the same. We all love the same. And I'm hoping that the observation of all of these things that are really stripping us down, if you notice, all our foundations are being completely stripped bare. And that's going to give us an opportunity to create something new, to create change, to create solutions. And I know each of us is being challenged in our own way, personally, to release things that no longer serve us. I've been going through this huge release around letting go of my relationship to money, which has been so interesting, right? I have been really doing a lot of inner work around releasing my relationship to money and coming to a place where money is energy and that it ebbs and flows, and not having so much of that stress around holding on to it or making it or being defined by it. So that's been one thing that has really come up strongly for me is allowing myself to be in a space of flow, because I'm all about energy, right? So just be in a space of flow when it comes to money. Be in the space of flow when it comes to creating the life that I want to live and how I want to show up in this world, and not worrying about the how. So my one main suggestion to help you get through all of this is to understand that regardless of how it's presenting and how it looks, it might look like complete chaos or devastation. To hold on to that faith that you will come through this, that you've overcome everything in your life that you've faced thus far, and that we need to trust the process and have faith that it's going to all unfold perfectly in perfect order and perfect time, and let go of the resistance to the process, because that's the hardest thing. When we resist and add the energy of resistance to any process, we slow it down and we weigh ourselves down. It's like adding ballast to ourselves as we're trying to rise. So those are just a few things I wanted to share with you around my perspective of everything that's going on. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all healthy. And I hope you all know that we will rise stronger and we will endure and create a more beautiful world together. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. I love y'all. Bye.